Hello, welcome to Screen Talk with yours truly, Nomfanelo. So, Spotify has unveiled some news today, and as a podcaster myself, I have mixed feelings on this one. So they essentially announced that on Spotify, you'll be able to see the view count essentially, or as they call it here, plays. Starting this week, Spotify is introducing a new way for audiences to see what's popular with the arrival of plays. This metric reflects the total number of times people have actively listened to or watched an episode and will be visible in the Spotify app to help audiences decide which episode to choose. For creators and publishers, plays can help attract new audiences to your show and will give you visibility into what content is resonating most with audiences so you can optimize for success. You'll be able to track plays alongside your existing performance metrics within your Spotify for Creators and Megaphone dashboards. We are also expanding access to consumption hour metrics to everyone, no matter where your show is hosted. While plays help you understand the scale of your audience, consumption hours show you how long your fans are sticking with you, giving you deeper insight into the scale and depth of your audience. So they say here plays are a new metric that reflects the number of times people have actively watched or listened to any episode in your catalog. This count refers to episode plays only, as plays from clips or previews will not count towards episode plays. Creators and publishers using Spotify Creators or Megaphone will now have access to this streamlined metric in their dashboards. Note that plays are not the same as impressions or discovery events, which are available respectively in Spotify for Creators and Megaphone. Impressions and discovery events reflect any time a user saw an episode in the app but may not have actively watched or listened to it. To help audiences quickly identify popular content, play counts are rounded to the nearest thousand or million. For the first 24 hours after publishing, episodes will display a new label instead of a play count as they build up initial listens. After that period, episodes of fewer than 1,000 plays will display the less than 1K sign. And they share example here, I guess, how it'll be on the platform. So yeah, and then they share what you'll see on the dashboard and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm not really sure how feel, but so just in general for me, because I host my podcast Rediscovered Movies with Spotify Creators. Well, when I first signed up, it was with Anchor, which changed to Spotify for Podcasters, which is now Spotify for Creators. So and I find so far my experience with Spotify has been great with all the resources and all that stuff. So I never really had an issue with Spotify. So in terms of showing the view count or plays in this case, I don't really feel any way about this stuff. Like I could care less about views myself. For me, what matters is that hopefully the audiences resonate with the stuff that I have to share. Essentially, had let's say I had that mindset where the views matter, I my podcast would not exist for one, and also two, like I would have like a totally different approach to podcasting and all that stuff compared to how I'm doing it right now, essentially. So yeah, and I also fear that with this, will influence people to only seek out content that's popular, essentially based on the view count, and in a way is kind of that appeal to popularity mindset, essentially, where if a lot of people are listening or watching to that popular thing, everyone is going to uh consume that and all that stuff. So I just worry like that's going to happen essentially, because just because something is popular does not mean it's great. Things are popular for various reasons. It could be, I don't know, maybe it talks about a certain topic, or maybe it has a certain famous person in it, or whatever the case may be, though. But I just hope that even though the the view count will be visible, hopefully it does encourage people to seek out stuff that is not as popular within their catalog. But we'll just have to wait and see how this goes. Essentially, I know like on YouTube it doesn't matter because they show the view count regardless whether like you have like millions of views to, let's say, no views essentially. So again, for me, like I don't have an issue sharing like the view count and all this stuff. And I know like immediately once I saw this story, the thought that came to mind is that this was going to hurt a lot of the indie or the smaller creators that doesn't have the millions of views, that have, let's say, the less than the thousand, all that stuff. Because I worried that like, oh, if they showed the exact amount on Spotify, that will prevent people from seeing their content, because probably like with that mentality, people would assume that with the less views means that the content is not great, and that's not always the case. There's multitude of reasons why things don't get the views. It could be either they don't have the resources to appeal, or it could be whatever topic they're discussing. It could be a multitude of reasons essentially. But yeah, that's my speech on all this stuff. But I want to know, what do you guys think about this? Do you care that Spotify displays views? Will it help creators or will it hurt creators in the long run? Let me know in the comment section. So also too, if you want to support me, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/numpymaloy, where you could donate either one time or monthly. But also you could follow me there, where I post some exclusive posts and more on the platform. Also, too, if you want to follow me on social media, my links are in the description. So I want to say thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to catch you on the next one.